The Code of the Cherry Blossom Samurai. In the land of the rising sun, where honor and duty were as revered as life itself, there lived a samurai named Takeshi. Clad in his armor, with his katana by his side, Takeshi was known far and wide for his unwavering loyalty to his lord and his unmatched skill in combat. One crisp spring morning, as the cherry blossoms danced in the gentle breeze, Takeshi received a summons from his lord. It was a time of turmoil in the realm, with neighboring warlords vying for power. Takeshi's lord needed him to lead a small band of warriors to defend a strategic outpost on the border. Without hesitation, Takeshi gathered his men, each a skilled fighter in their own right, and set out on their journey. Along the way, they faced many challenges: bandits seeking to plunder, treacherous terrain, and harsh weather. But through it all, Takeshi remained resolute, his spirit as unyielding as the mountains that surrounded them. Finally, they reached the outpost, a small fortress perched on a cliff overlooking the valley below. Takeshi wasted no time in fortifying their defenses, knowing that their enemies would soon come knocking. Days turned into weeks, and still, the enemy did not come. Takeshi and his men waited, ever vigilant, their swords sharpened and their minds focused. But as the cherry blossoms began to fall, a messenger arrived with grave news. The enemy had laid siege to their lord's castle, and he called for reinforcements. With a heavy heart, Takeshi knew what he must do. Leaving a small garrison behind to defend the outpost, he and his remaining men set out on the long journey back to their lord's side. Through days and nights they traveled, pushing themselves beyond their limits, driven by duty and honor. And when they finally arrived, they found their lord's castle under siege, the enemy's forces massed outside the walls like a dark storm cloud. With a fierce battle cry, Takeshi led his men into the fray, cutting down their foes with skill and precision. Side by side, they fought with a courage born of desperation, knowing that the fate of their lord and their land hung in the balance. As the sun began to set on the battlefield, the enemy was in retreat, their ranks broken and scattered like leaves in the wind. Takeshi and his men stood victorious, their swords stained with the blood of their enemies, their honor restored. In the end, it was not the strength of their swords or the sharpness of their blades that carried the day, but the strength of their hearts and the code of the samurai, loyalty, honor, and duty above all else. And as the cherry blossoms bloomed once more, Takeshi knew that he had upheld that code and that his legacy would endure for generations to come.